Hi, good evening everyone. My name is Anuj Kumar and I'm student of Alexandra College. This is my Psychology 101G course project. My student number is 101391112. Today's my presentation is based on the classical conditioning and my major focus will be on the Pavlov's experiment through which he describes that the classical conditioning is a powerful learning by which help organisms adapt by forming association. Before starting my presentation, I will let you clarify with the classical conditioning term what actually that means. So basically, it's a type of learning where an organism associates two stimuli, which result in learned response. So, in other words, there are different stimulus associate with each other in order to make a stimulus response, which is a conditional response. So, before starting our Pavlov's experiment, I think we have to clarify our some key terms and key definitions through which we can easily get through with the Pavlov's experiment. So, okay, let's start. The first term is the neutral stimulus. Neutral means zero or neutral means nothing. Stimulus means the thing which produce response. So basically neutral stimulus is a stimulus that initially doesn't produce any kind of response. The second term is the unconditional stimulus. It's directly opposite to the neutral stimulus. Like unconditional stimulus is originally and automatically response gives us a response, or it's naturally gives us a response, and that natural response is called unconditional response. So we covered our neutral stimulus that doesn't give response, unconditional stimulus that gives us naturally or by self gives the response, and the response given by unconditional stimulus is called unconditional response. Now moving forward to the conditional stimulus. So conditional stimulus is nothing but a neutral stimulus that associate with the unconditional stimulus for a long time or by many times, which converts a neutral stimulus to the conditional stimulus, and that conditional stimulus gives the conditional response. So these are the key terms. To summarize all these key terms again, neutral response is nothing gives us the response. Sorry, neutral stimulus never gives us the neutral response. Unconditional stimulus gives always or naturally response. The response given by unconditional stimuli is called unconditional response. Conditional response is a response. Conditional response is a response produced by conditional stimuli, and conditional stimuli is produced by association of neutral stimulus and unconditional stimulus for long time or by many time. So this is basic terms. Now, okay, now moving forward towards our main agenda, the Pavlov's experiment. So basically, Pavlov's in his experiment take different things like a dog, a bell, a food. For all these things, he elaborate or he studies the digestive system and discover associates learning by salivary condition. So let's start our Pavlov's experiment. Okay, we are clarify with our key terms. Now looking forward our Pavlov's experiment. So what the Pavlos did? Basically, he in his experiment he take one dog, one food, and one turning fork. In first case, Pavlos shows a dog a food, and whenever dog sees a food, he salivate. It's naturally salivate. It's in normal in our life. Like whenever we give the food to the dog, he salivate. most of the times. And the food, in this case, the food is unconditional stimuli, and the salivation is unconditional response because it's natural. But in second case, Pablo's shows a dog a turning fork. Whenever dog sees a turning fork, he never responds. He never do anything because he doesn't care about the turning fork. But in the third stage, Pablo's combine both food and the turning fork. In scientific forms, what Pablo combine is the neutral response and unconditional stimuli. Unconditional stimuli and neutral stimuli, which gives us the unconditional response as like same as the salivation. This step Pablo's repeat again and again, like whenever he gives food to the dog, he always rang or turning fork, he always bell, he always ring it, and again, day and day. So, and last, whenever Pablo's rang a turning fork, it's automatically dog start salivation. In this case, what's happening is that the turning fork, what initially is a neutral stimuli, now becomes a conditional stimuli. This is due to the association of neutral stimuli and unconditional stimuli. Again, repetition and repetition of association becomes a conditional stimuli, which gives us the conditional response. So to summarize this experiment, it's a journal principle that neutral stimuli becomes conditional stimuli if 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 the neutral stimuli associate with unconditional stimuli again and again, then our memory becomes active, or the dog's memory becomes active, and becomes he make the turning fork or the neutral stimuli makes it a conditional stimuli. So that's the basic concept of the Pavlov's experiment. So this is my overall, like if I would like to put in a nutshell, then I would like to say that neutral stimuli becomes conditional stimuli if he will be associated with the unconditional stimuli, and that's the classical conditioning. Okay, thank you so much for your patience. Thank you.